How do you generate leads? Today I'm going to go over my 4 favorite ways to generate leads and what I used to do when I had my lead generation agency that scaled to $100,000 per year, and what you can do for any agency, any lead generation agency or business that you have. Okay, so let's get into it. For lead generation, it really splits into two. So are you focusing on business to business or business to consumer? A business to business model is any entrepreneur that's focusing on helping other entrepreneurs. This, in my experience, has been the easiest target market to focus on because once entrepreneurs buy a product, they're pretty much going to stay with that person for a while, right? And then there's the other part of lead generation, which is business to consumer. Consumer behavior is fickle. They can easily swap out their services, but 9 to 5, like entrepreneurs usually stay with the service provider for a long time, anywhere from 3 to 6 months, whereas a 9 to 5er, it's built into a 9 to 5er's behavior to just switch products if something's not working. So those are the two different types of people that you can target as an entrepreneur. What we're going to talk about is B2B lead generation. So for B2B lead generation, you're going to want to focus on being a business owner, targeting other business owners. So the platform that you're on is very important. So for example, let's say you're a business owner and you are targeting truck driving companies, right? There are very few Instagram accounts of truck driving companies that are going to be looking for a service provider like yourself. But if you go on a platform like LinkedIn, it's easy to find those companies in that particular niche. So you want to think about, where do other entrepreneurs live? Entrepreneurs are on every single platform, but for example, brick and mortar stores like a hair salon, they're going to be on Instagram because hair is very aesthetic. They're going to have to want to post a lot of pictures on Instagram talking about their styles, their client results. And because of that, you're going to want to use Instagram to target brick and mortar stores like hair salons. Now, if you target like online service providers like coaches, consultants, then the best platform for you is going to be Instagram as well. How this plays out is you have your 9 to 5er and then you have your business owner. Usually as an agency, you want to stay away from 9 to 5 platforms. So usually 9 to 5ers or your average person who's working a consumer level job, it's going to be on TikTok all the time. Business owners are on TikTok, but they're not there to necessarily market their business. You can talk to them in the DMs, but 9 to 5ers live on TikTok. Business owners don't live on TikTok, and it's harder to find them. So for example, I have a TikTok as a business owner, but it's purely just to consume content. I'm not marketing my business on there. And then business owners, it's easier to find them on Instagram. Again, if they're brick and mortar stores, then it's easier to find them on Instagram, like hair salons, nail salons. And then if you're looking for, let's say, online service providers like coaches or consultants, then the easiest place for you to go is also Instagram, but then you can look at LinkedIn. And then finally, if you're looking at specific demographics, like let's say you're looking at lifestyle, a business owner that has a specific lifestyle, like being a mom, you're going to focus on Facebook. So if you're targeting a business owner that has a specific lifestyle, let's say they are a mom, you're going to focus on Facebook. If you're targeting a business owner that's more of a brick and mortar store, B&M, like a brick and mortar store, Instagram is great for like nail salons, hair salons. And then if you're looking for online service providers, OSPs, think of your coaches, your consultants. They're really going to be on LinkedIn and Instagram, and in some cases, and Facebook, right? But to generate leads, you're going to want to be on these platforms and stay away from platforms that really attract a lot of 9 to 5ers and not attracting a lot of entrepreneurs. TikTok is getting there, but I would give it maybe in a couple of years, it'll become a platform where a lot of business owners sell, but it's not the place unless you're like a therapist or something like that. Okay, so now you know where to go for your lead generation. You want to focus on the next step, which is actually talking to people. So there's a couple ways to do this. To generate leads as an agency or really any business owner, you want to get on and pick one platform. I think the biggest mistake I see entrepreneurs make is they're trying to get on all the platforms, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and it's just not working for them. You want to pick one platform and do your best to do the research before you choose. Okay, now actually talking to your leads, what you're gonna wanna do is, yes, post content, but I don't really focus on a content strategy when it comes to talking to leads. I talk really about pitching in the DMs. This is gonna be the fastest way for you to build your agency. And please do not spam people. So if you're copying and pasting the same message in the DMs, it's not gonna work. You wanna start authentic conversations. So look at their content, do a little bit of research about who they are, and then find the connection that you both have and talk to them about it. So for example, if you are both living in New York City, instead of sending like a big spammy long paragraph text message about, hey, I have an agency, I'd love to work with you, blah, 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 you're gonna get ignored. But for example, if you say, hey, I see you live in New York, like I love, and they post something about walking their dog in New York, you want to start that human connection. Like imagine you're passing someone in the mall and you want to compliment their shirt or shoes. It's that kind of casualness that you have on these social media platforms. You're not going in for the pitch, you're talking to them, building rapport a little bit before you pitch. So that's a little bit of how I recommend to do B2B lead generation on one of these platforms. The next tip I have is going to be referrals, sponsorships, or collaborations. So when you have, let's talk about the next part, which is collaborations. When you're on one of these platforms, you want to look for the big industry leaders in your niche. So for example, let's say you're focusing on mom entrepreneurs, you find a Facebook group that has a lot of mom entrepreneurs. What you're going to want to do is actually reach out to them and let them know, hey, I'd love to do like a Facebook Live that gives a ton of value to your audience. That way you're borrowing audiences and using that collab to promote your own business. And it's free for the person who's running the Facebook group because they're always looking for ways to engage. That's one. That's a free collaboration. So DMing and collaboration are two free ways that you can generate free lead generation. And then if you're willing to pay, I don't recommend ads. What you can do is do sponsorships. So for example, reaching out to any industry accounts that you find on any of these platforms and reaching out to them and be like, hey, do you have an event that I can sponsor? This will be anywhere from like $50 to maybe $500 out of your pocket, but you will be able to get in touch with a huge amount of people. And usually the industry leader is going to sponsor you as well. So think about like conferences when you see people at the booth, kind of getting people to come to their booth. It's kind of like that, where that person at the booth is paying the conferences for a sponsorship spot to get clients. You're doing the same thing. It can be online, it can be in person. So if you look at, the local businesses around you that you want to target, ask them if they have anything to sponsor so you can build a relationship. The biggest compliment you could give another business is by paying them. So this can help you generate more leads. But again, I recommend the free methods first before you dive into that. And the last lead generation method is going to be referrals. One of the best things that you can do is once you have one client, set up an affiliate program so that if that client recommends you to anyone else, they get a kickback of anywhere from 10 to 30%, depending on how generous you want to be. So those are our 4 lead generation methods: the DMs, the collaborations, sponsorships, and referrals. Let me know if you guys like this video and if you want more of this in the future about lead generation and B2B.